Ultimate I Spy.
This is the Wii Viewer,
And the littlest Wii Viewer.
and we're going to review.
Ultimate I Spy.
So, littlest Wii Viewer, have you ever played an I Spy game before?
Yes, at school.
You have I Spy books at your school?
Yes.
Was this game harder or easier than the books you usually read?
Hoodoo.
But did you still enjoy the game?
Yes.
Unlike Mortimer Beckett, this game didn't forget who they were targeting their game for. This is a very simple game for kids to pick up and play. Ultimate I Spy is based on the popular book series of the same name. So what's the basic idea behind this game?
Playing activities and finding stuff. They give you a riddle and you have to find stuff.
The game consists of 10 different worlds that you can explore for objects, with 4 different riddles on each world. As you enter the world, you'll be presented with a riddle.
I spy 2 stamps, a straw flagpole, half of a heart cut into a hole, a sun, a cow, a thrown paper plane, a sailboat raced, a bridge, and rain.
The riddle is just basically a list of objects they want you to find. I do wish that it was on screen all the time, since I tended to forget some of the items that I was looking for. But you can bring up the riddle anytime you want using the B button, so it's forgivable. Unlike Mortimer Beckett's one-dimensional picture, this game is a 3D game, with only limitations on the way you could turn. You can use your Wiimote's D-pad to move up and down and left and right, and even zoom in where it's appropriate. You'll need to come at locations from every possible direction to find all the hidden objects. They could be hidden anywhere in the game's world, so you might even need to look in the grain of the wood to find an object. There is no penalty for overclicking the screen, since the worlds are so large. It would take way too long to cheat that way, so younger kids might appreciate that. What did you think about the worlds you had to explore?
Good.
Were they easy to maneuver with the controls?
Yes.
Sometimes the objects have criteria that you will have to complete before they'll let you check it off your list. It will take you to a mini-game that you have to beat. These mini-games were interesting, and some of them were really challenging.
One of the second riddles on Paperland, I didn't get past because you have to pass the boat ride. You have to beat it. And that's the part I can't do.
You had a problem with the controls with the paper boat?
Yes.
I do agree with you. That control was a little bit loose. So what was your favorite mini-game then?
The game where you have to roll a marble through a maze.
Really, how were the controls on that?
Good. You roll a marble through a maze by tilting the remote left and right.
There were many mini-games you could play, from shooting rubber bands, cutting out some paper, or even flying paper planes. The controls weren't always great, but they were always workable. Even the paper plane minigame wasn't bad, it was just completely unrealistic. You can play the minigames after you unlock them anytime you want. You could even play against another player. If I had to find some negatives about the game, it would be the lack of hints in finding the objects. Also, the way that you access levels is a bit contrived. You have to power up the generator, which can be used to access the worlds. Unfortunately, you can't just play any of the worlds at any time. In order to get to the harder worlds, you have to light up the areas next to the area that you want to go to. You have to beat all the worlds that are connected to them. And after you beat that inner world that you got to, they'll kick you back to the beginning and you'll have to do the whole process over again. It was just irritating. Ultimate I Spy, littlest Wii Viewer. Would you buy, rent, or skip?
We rented it, and I want my daddy to buy it, so I think it's a buy.
Ultimate I Spy is a really fun game, and that's coming from someone who doesn't like to find the objects in the picture games. It does a great job of keeping the challenge factor of the game easy enough for a 6-year-old, yet keeping it entertaining enough for older kids. Buy it now.